So this is Alex Yu coming at you with another episode. This episode I want to talk about Chinese robots, and I think very soon we're gonna, men can buy, I mean, I don't know, robot maids or robot lover. See, right now we have sex dolls, but very soon, like within 5 years, I mean, guys can buy these, I don't know, robots that's actually doing lap dance in the middle of your living room and give you like pleasure, sexual pleasures and stuff. And they look like real women, they feel like it, they have facial expression, everything. But anyway, before I talk about that, I want to tell you my name is Alex Yu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small finger, string, sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 54. In 3 months, 3 months, I'll be 55. See, I'm still pretty skinny. Look at that. If you go to my website, livemuchlonger.com, I have lots of testimonials from Amazon customers. Most of them give me 4-star, 5-star. If you're interested, you want to look like me when you're 54, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you a clip of a Russian robot. A few days ago, a Russian robot came out. Here it is.
A new Russian-made humanoid robot was unveiled at a technology event in Moscow. But its debut didn't go quite to plan. It took a few unsteady steps before falling over. Emerging to the soundtrack from Rocky, this robot couldn't even last the first round.
I was wondering how come their idol robot, is made to look like Putin. They put Putin's face on the idol robot, and now the robot falls. That's a very bad omen, That's a very bad omen. It means Russia's going to fall. The war in Ukraine doesn't go as planned, right? And based on my dreams, because of this war, Russia's going to fall in 2027. And then they pull that curtain. Oh my God, that's ugly. Why would they do that? It's stupid. I don't know. Russia's going to fall and then they're going to pull the curtain. You see how the curtain was folded in half? That means Russia could split in half after it falls. Anyway, that's a bad omen. Oh, I want to show you the Chinese robot, Xpeng. Check this out.
This woman removing her robot's leg quickly went viral online, sparking global debate. Tesla's robots may struggle with natural walking, but Xpeng's new robot walks with surprisingly human fluidity, so much so that viewers accused the company of using a person in disguise. To address the rumors, Xpeng's CEO demonstrated the robot's internals by detaching its leg and showing the advanced spine and lower back mechanism that gives it such lifelike movement.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a real robot, That's not a human catwalk. There's a lot of videos about it. You could go check it out. They also cut off like a part of the leg, cut off the flesh from the leg and shows inside, the skeleton, the metal skeleton walking. So in the future, man, you could buy a robot like that. It would be just like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator. Instead of a robot killer, you have a robot lover. Right? A lot of men can you could buy yourself a wife. Better than humans, actually, because she could be a maid, she could help you do chores around the house. She could suck you off. She could give you sex. And the best thing about robots is you could change her face, right? You don't like her face anymore, right? You could just, I don't know, take off her head and put on another face. Or you could increase the breast size by just adding more material under her breast, You ever watch this is Terminator 3, right? This woman Terminator, right? She can change her breast size, right? Her breast size would increase or decrease just by her will. In the future, I think that could happen. But I don't know, man. one thing about these Chinese, it just, I mean, the robots, the Chinese cars, the new Chinese EVs, and these new Chinese technology, it just shows how humble they really are. I remember back in the days when I was a teenager, right? I was 19, 20. You know, I mean, I started to learn Japanese culture, right? I was fascinated by Japanese culture. You know, so I go to restaurants, Japanese restaurants a lot to eat sushi, right? And you can see the owner, right? There's this restaurant owner. Her name is Peiko, right? Every time she sees me, she I don't know, she just looked very snobbish, like oh yeah, everybody like Japanese food, yeah. See, I'm Japanese, I'm so proud. It's like you can tell how snobbish she is, you know. It just said, oh, because I'm Japanese, I'm all that, you know. I work for Japanese companies too, and these Japanese, my coworkers are Japanese, right? They have that same snobbishness. It's like yeah, Japanese are so great, you know. You Chinese are just lower than us. And when they compliment me, I mean, when I do a good job, you know how they compliment me? They say, oh yeah, you're Japanese, you're Japanese. Like, man, fuck you. I'm not Japanese, I'm Chinese, right? Who said I want to be Japanese? It's crazy. But they think like that. They think everybody, like all the Chinese and Korean want to be Japanese or something. They crazy, man. Nowadays, China is at the rise, right? Everything is made in China. You know, all the shipbuilders are, China has the largest shipbuilding yard. You know, everything is like produced in China nowadays. Even the high-speed trains, you know, all sorts of shit. Even, I don't know, the most advanced EVs, robots, everything. But Chinese are extremely humble. I mean, it's surprisingly humble. You don't see Chinese all snobbish and shit, you know. Except the Cantonese. So Cantonese, they're not snobbish, they're always rude. You go to Chinatown, right? There's this very famous Chinese restaurant in San Francisco. Chinatown. It's called Sangwo. Sangwo, yeah. They have the rudest waiter in the world. I mean, that guy died a long time ago. That guy died in 1990s or something. But he received medal from the city hall. He received the key to San Francisco as being the rudest waiter in the rudest waiter in the world, rudest waiter in the city, or something like that. Cantonese were always rude. Cantonese people are rude, but they're rude, but they're not snobbish, you know. They're not snobbish like the Japanese. Yeah, I remember back in the days I was learning Japanese, right? And I go to a Japanese restaurant to eat something, and at the end, I didn't bring enough money for a tip, you know. So I tried to practice my Japanese. I spoke to a Japanese owner using my broken Japanese. He said, "I don't understand you." Very rude, you know. Just, I don't know, just really, really rude. If it's a Chinese restaurant owner, right? Let's say you go to a Chinese restaurant today, and you're a white guy who's trying to speak Chinese, or a black guy, or whatever. You try to speak Japanese. You try to speak Chinese to the Chinese owner. He's not gonna say, "I don't understand." He's not gonna do that. He will probably smile and say, "Oh, can you say that again? Can you say that again?" Right? He probably would just. He would encourage you to speak Chinese. Oh yes, yeah, you're learning. Good, that's a good thing, you know. He's not gonna say, "I don't understand." I don't know. But hey, you know, that's how it is. I think Chinese are extremely humble, and I really like that. I appreciate that. So they're just gonna keep on selling their cheap products, you know, and maybe within 5 years, actually within 2 years. By the progress, within 2 years, they're going to come out with that robot maid, robot sex toy, robot sex partner, you know? Good thing. I anticipate it. Anyway, that's all. Bye.